Alright, good afternoon. It is May 13th of 2013 and this is my final for the symposium on Friedrich Nietzsche. What I will be attempting to do is, what I've done is I've taken different people's interviews and compiled them into a short little video depicting whether those views were for or against Nietzsche's own. So I'm contrasting random people to Friedrich Nietzsche's views, and we'll have some commentary dispersed throughout the video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And here we go. How do you create a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning in your life?
Okay, well, I personally try to set a goal for myself. So I have like immediate goals and long-term goals. And that kind of gives me purpose in my life.
Well, I think the meaning of life is to give life meaning. And I think it's really incredible that humans are able to give life meaning, and that we shouldn't pass up that opportunity because it's the best thing that we can pursue.
I create purpose by looking at what I think I do is I look at the things that I care about, and I come to care about things. God, that's a long process. I don't even know how to describe the whole process.
So Friedrich Nietzsche says that equality is the way of the weak.
Mm-hmm.
How might you interpret this?
Well, what I do know about Nietzsche was I believe he believed in the Overman. Is that something he believed in? Yeah. And he believed that the Overman would like climb over people in order to reach the top. So definitely he doesn't believe in equality. Okay, so the question was, what I believe in equality?
Yeah, like
basically?
how might you interpret the notion that equality is the way of the weak?
Okay, well, I personally don't believe that. I think that everybody's obviously like created equal, and everybody should have the same rights, like whether or not like their sexual orientation or their gender or their race.
See that? That's a tarantula bite. So I decided that I would need at least one of the priests here on campus, one of the Jesuits, to give their perspective on Nietzsche, seeming that he's so against Christianity or the church in general. What follows is a Jesuit priest who holds a PhD in philosophy, and I'm sure has had at least a little bit amount of time reviewing Nietzsche's philosophy.
And for me, as a Catholic and a Jesuit, I think there's a sense in which God has sort of dreamed into being each of us.
Did he just say God?
So in a very simple-minded way, I would say, no, I think there is a kind of truth with a capital T.
Okay, Friedrich Nietzsche would be extremely upset at this priest's responses thus far. Fortunately, though, the priest has some very, very interesting and intelligent things to say as well that would concur with what Friedrich Nietzsche has to say. Let's go ahead and put some context into the picture and see what can happen from here. Do you strive to be excellent?
I think what I strive to do is to flourish. And what I mean by that is to be the best version of myself. When Nietzsche says that equality is sort of something that the weak are using to hold the strong down. What he's really talking about is this kind of mentality that would want to hold everyone to the least common denominator. But I might be an amazing, dancer, and you might not be able to dance a step. And so what I would want to say is like, we all are equal in that we are entitled to that kind of equal respect and an opportunity to appreciate our different gifts. And I really do believe that when we look at human beings, there is this incredible variety of gifts. And so I would want to say, in that respect, I would push for a sense of equality, right? A sense of, let's create equal opportunity, let's create equal respect, let's create a sense of appreciation for all of that difference.
What comes next is very interesting in regards to this young lady's response to the question. She goes from wanting to repeat the same thing with the same people continuously into probably something that Nietzsche would be extremely fortunate and delightful to validate.
Work, hang out with my coworkers, I guess, I really don't know. And then come back home and chill with my friends and family and do that. I really don't know. That sounds really boring. Sorry. Or I guess like if I could do like a perfect day and like go crazy, I would probably like travel the world. You know, like can I travel the world? Like, can I travel in different areas, or does it have to be? Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, no. Let's get it work.
That would
So
work.
the same
yeah.
thing.
It would be the same thing over and over and over again.
Recurring.
So I'd pick a really interesting place, probably the ocean, because that's never been explored. So I feel like I continually explored one part of the ocean. I would find something, hopefully. But yeah.
Wow. So just a quick summary of this little project that we did and some of the tenets that some of the people that I asked had. I wanted to start with talking about the priest, Father Mark Revisa. Him and I both hold a very similar viewpoint in that there is an objective truth. And this was something that I had to really struggle with while working with Nietzsche, since he does believe that there is no objective truth, or, as Father Mark said, a truth with a capital T. But what I really wanted to express also was the fact that we don't know what certain people hold within their minds. Like for instance, when I asked Gianna about her eternal reoccurrence of the same, she started with this kind of, I don't want to call it regular, but what the herd would do, hang out with people, find solidarity and solace in the herd or in the crowd. But when I poked a little bit more deeper, she brought out the ocean, and that was something that Friedrich Nietzsche would be totally cool with. And like I said earlier, that's basically quoting from the book. So just keep in mind that when we're dealing with people in general, we don't know what their true intentions are deep down and what they really hold to be true in themselves. Now, Nietzsche is a tricky read for many reasons, particularly because a lot of his stuff can be taken any which way, and we've seen it in the past in history, how it's been taken in a very, very destructive way. And what I really wanted to end this project with was the fact that throughout the book, Nietzsche does have times where you do see him, or see Zarathustra, engaging with others and being compassionate for others as well. And I think whenever we read Zarathustra, we need to be mindful that it's not just about the self, that there actually are parts where there is this compassion and love for other people, and also the desire to want to help them as well. Now that being said, we can't just forget about ourselves and become compassionate and martyrs for everybody else. But it is something to say that we can lend a helping hand here and there. So I'd like to thank you for this beautiful, wonderful, amazing semester that we had in your class, and I hope to see you soon and take a class with you in the future. So take care.